Hey there, and welcome to AfterBuzz's Anime Reviews. We're covering Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood 9 through 13, so part 1 on Netflix. So let's fix that automail. We had one very important death, and more characters that we got to explore. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I just have this prop, and I'm like, I don't quite know what to do with it, but I thought it looked cool for you guys.
Hit one of us with it.
No, I'm gonna hit Ed with it and be like, you idiots! Oh, that part was so funny. And then, yeah, these are nice, wonderfully bulky. Welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We're talking about the final episodes of Part 1. So Netflix breaks it down. It says Part 1 is episodes 1 through 13. So we're talking about 9 through 13. I'm your host, Kari Lane. I'm joined by my awesome co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Oliver Drennan.
And, nice. And I'm Alexis Torres.
And then I dressed up as kind of a nice casual cosplay of Winry for y'all, and I'm gonna take these off.
Looking good,
Looks so legit, honestly. I love closet cosplay.
Oh, so closet cosplay, guys, if you aren't familiar with that term, it's pretty much like whatever you have in your closet or what you can buy at the thrift store. So cosplay is available to anyone and everyone.
Absolutely.
Don't worry that you can't sew. That's like my thing I do. I always closet cosplay because I don't know how to sew yet.
Same.
That's mine. So just gotta get creative.
Exactly.
So let's get right into it. Episode 9. Created feelings. So I love the being scolded by the lower ranking officers to Ed. They're like, dude, why'd you go in there? And we weren't surprised. But I don't know, it just was kind of adorable. But I really like their line that they're like, you should trust adults more. And you're like, because these two kids, you know, like they don't really have a stable environment that they can trust the adults. Though I don't know, a lot of these adults, I don't know if I trust.
Which, like, yeah, I can see where they're coming from. You want some kind of stable foundation to go off of. But also, I feel like we're so easy to, like, look down on kids and see them as stupid and so youthful and not, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you.
I feel for Ed and Al.
Yeah.
I feel like we all do all the time.
All the time.
There's so much.
And then, yeah, they're like, don't be so selfish and keep getting in harm's way, which is a good point. And then, yeah, poor mopey Al, which I'm so glad that Ed and Al have that yelling fight. And I'm like, maybe this is how boys communicate. Like, they just have to yell out all their feelings and fight. And that's communication.
At least, I mean, definitely for them, just because of the fact that they're just, I mean, they're so close that they just have these moments. I don't know. I think it's really, really cool to see them have their argument, but it doesn't have to be like too over dramatic where it's like like, you know, like one of those. It's just kind of like, I'm mad at you, and then we're gonna scream for each other for a second, and we're gonna spar for a little bit, and then we're just gonna talk it out, because you know, it's what we gotta do.
I thought that was very sweet. I was glad they finally got that out, because you're just like, please don't let this sit forever. I hate shows where you're like, words, use them, please.
That's exactly what happened in the original. I was like, all right, we're like 4 episodes in, can we please?
Oh, so
Move
then
on.
This one is nice.
Oh yeah, it's all in one episode. This one was kind of like,
Fantastic.
yeah, because there's other things happening, and Winry had time to get back to Central to like talk to them and other things. So yeah, so it took like at least 2 or 3 episodes to get through.
Oh, I'm glad this is short then.
Oh, good lord.
We get Winry making the service order visit, which was adorable to have her kind of road trip it. I love the moment where she gets to the train station. They're like, you're going to see a marker that you should know. And then Armstrong.
I know.
And he's like,
He's like, hello.
it's just so adorable. And I love her being there and essentially like scolding them too.
Yeah.
Because she's like, dude, go after him now and go talk.
Yeah.
She definitely had an important role in this episode, because everything that happened last episode, it's time to like bring everyone back up, and it's definitely an emotional episode for sure. And I think she did her job well. You know, she went after Al. She hit him with the wrench.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love Winry already so much.
Oh yeah,
funny.
she's so good.
But I also feel for Al, because, you know, he was lied to, but he was also lied to in order to protect him. But it's also hard because
How was he lied to, though?
well, like, they didn't tell him everything. I guess not lied to, but they didn't tell him.
They shelter him.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, of
And it's
course.
hard.
Yeah. But
Because it's like, you want to protect him,
Yeah.
but also you know, if I was Al, I'd want to be on the same page as everyone.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that, for sure.
I understand his, like, confusion and stuff, but I'm thinking still, I'm like, dude, you have those memories. There's photographs of y'all together. But I get it, because he kind of has like a weird form of like body dysmorphia of like detachment from it, and having that could almost make you kind of go insane. And remember how I was saying, like, if he doesn't sleep, and if you have your thoughts constantly to yourself like that, I feel that would make you go off the rails.
Especially because he's so young, too.
He's only 1 year younger than our...
I know,
but
I
still,
feel like, I feel like Al, sometimes even though he is 15, sometimes his age, I feel like with his maturity ranges, sometimes he acts like he's like in his like 20s or 30s when it comes to the knowledge that he has, or sometimes he acts like he's like 9 years old. So but with Al, I feel like it's usually been kind of like one age where
that's true.
Even though he seems more mature, there are moments, especially when the way that he reacts to stuff, you're like, oh yeah, you're definitely still a child.
Oh yeah,
you know.
We have a tiny little bit at the end of it where we have Scar. He's okay. He's been rescued by surviving Ishvalans. So, yay, they're alive.
Yay.
They haven't been totally wiped out. And we get a glimpse at his very special arm tattoo, which turns out to be something later, but we're not there yet. But that was still kind of a cool, like, ooh, there's something to it. Though there was kind of a weird shot, and it let me know if you guys noticed it, and then viewers, please comment down below. And by the way, we do these live, so if you are watching this with us live, welcome, and please comment down below with our chat. And if you're watching this later, awesome, great. Thank you for tuning in, and please also comment down below. So Scar is kind of like, these people have come, they want to collect him for a bounty and stuff, and so he's leaving. One gentleman does not touch him, but his arm, like, he kind of goes for him, I think. But he makes no physical contact, and his arm still kind of blows up. And so I was a little bit confused by that.
Well, I can't tell you because there's more to the story of why his arm is the way that it is.
Yes.
So whenever we decide to continue with the series, you will find out more because
Do you have to be touching him for him to do his power on you?
No, it's hit and miss sometimes. But there's a reason why his arm reacts the way that it does.
Got it.
And it's just his arm. Okay. So
cool.
just don't touch the arm.
I knew, because it made sense, like, when he grabbed people's faces and did it, but when I'm like, dude, that guy didn't even touch him. How did that? But thank you for clarifying, because I'm like, did I miss the shot? I, like, even rewound it and like, nope, don't touch him. Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think was that a dream sequence?
No.
No, that was real.
He's leaving town, and because he doesn't want to cause trouble for the people, and he was happy to know that some were still alive. So that kind of wraps up episode 9. A lot of these next few episodes, stuff happens, but not really like, too meaty. In a way, except episode 10 here, Separate Destinations. We get the nice beginning with Mustang and the flashback to the Ishvalan War, and how he and Hughes kind of like teamed up to possibly continue Mustang's career to rule over everybody with his idealistic ideas, which I like. Hughes like, I'll be along for the ride, and I thought that was cute to get their history.
Yeah, Roy. That's like Roy Mustang's like entire plan is to become. Where King Bradley is kind of sitting right now.
So you already know. So Ollie, do you trust Mustang's motives? Do you think he would be a good ruler? Or is this just a power-hungry guy?
I think he's power-hungry. I mean, we saw everything that, the attempt to kill out the Ishvalan. Am I saying that right? Ishvalan?
Ishvalan. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I know that it depends because some people say Ishvalan.
Regional accents.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's kind of foreshadowing his role possibly. So I'm not really trusting him right now at this point.
It's been too long, so I don't recall, but I want him to be truthfully idealistic and want to be a better ruler. Question is, I don't quite know exactly how much Bradley is failing as a ruler that I would know how much Mustang could improve upon it.
Yeah, I feel like
at this point we don't know yet. It's like just little hints.
Yeah, he'll definitely throw a wrench in it if he does turn out to be a jerk.
And I'm done.
Just kidding. Which, speaking of the Fuhrer, Bradley, when he visits the brothers, that was rather amusing and quirky. And what do you think of that visit? Came to the hospital visit and was like, hey guys. He just kind of comes and talks to them and is like, how much do you know about Philosopher's Stone? Tell me what you know. And he like goes out the window and...
Oh, I totally don't even remember that part.
It was kind of a short scene. It was very kind of quirky.
It's very quick. Yeah.
I watched part of it in English and in Japanese because in Japanese, what does he say? He says like his bodyguard thinks he's like, yeah, my bodyguard thinks he's my shadow. And that was kind of a funny little line, and I don't think that was in English. But that was a particular scene where it's so crazy, sub versus dub. some of the context really felt different in that particular scene. So we're not quite getting into sub versus dub wars, guys, but we can all acknowledge it's very interesting when I know they try to capture it as much, but in a way you go, ooh, that changes context a little bit.
I think that's why I stick with just one or the other.
That's true.
I can't watch it at the same time because it confuses me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
I'm definitely still watching in English.
Yeah. I don't know. I like what the English dub adds to the characters. I mean, the subs are awesome because they have their own type of personality with it, but I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe it's just because it's Vic. I have no idea, but like his voice when he voices Ed from going from really, really serious to I'm not trying to out, Pip's going da-da-da. It's just like, it's so quick. And I love how there's just so much history in this little tiny voice. It's great.
No, but I love that we watch it differently too, because like myself, I primarily more sub, but I like dubs as well.
Yeah.
And this one I'll occasionally check in with the dub to see, and then I'm like, not quite. But then sometimes it's because you're used to it. That you go,
of course.
This is what they sound like.
Yeah,
but,
like this is what I grew up with, so I watch the dub now. But I do switch occasionally to the subs just to hear the context.
So then, speaking of something kind of humorous, though, we get to visit Sensei. Oh my goodness, how much do we love Sensei? That was their... Actually, wait.
Sensei.
Did they meet her yet? No, not yet. They're going to go visit her. Sorry, not there yet.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
they're not getting there.
What?
I just have to visit their teacher, and I'm like, oh, not yet. They're on a losing streak. They want to do it to get stronger. This is them on the train. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself a little bit. And they want to ask about, like, the truth within the truth, and then Winry is like, well, I'm going to go with you because this automail place is on the way.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Rush
yay for
Valley.
road trip. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Then we learn, I like that there's moments in the show that are like, here's what's happening at other places, because they talk about the Lior insurgency and the Latoism, and now there's skirmishes all over, and you're like, you're a smart show. You're planting all these little seeds for us. Then this is the meat of this episode where I was like, so in my watching the regular show, I was like, somebody dies. And because I saw, I think it's Conqueror of Shambhala, before I even watched Fullmetal Alchemist at all. And I remember seeing that screening at Anime Expo, and people would cheer when characters popped up, which generally meant they died, because you're like, yay, they're back. Yeah. So I remember people being all excited for Hughes as one of the characters in particular.
Yep.
And now in doing this, I was like, I think he dies. But I couldn't remember. So how shocked were you, Ollie, coming into this? Because you had no idea. Because Alexis totally knows, and me, I'm like, in the back of my head.
Cry every time, whether it's the original or this one.
Yeah, it's really tough for him because he has his wife, he has his child,
Alicia,
and then later on we see them at the funeral.
That got
I
me.
know, jumping ahead, but that was really hard.
Oh,
she didn't understand why they were,
Yeah, why are they?
why is Daddy?
He's gotta go to work tomorrow.
Oh my
There's a lot
gosh.
of work to do.
And then, and then I'm still confused. I guess with Envy, Envy's the Mystique, right?
Yeah.
They can transform into different people, and then I thought for a second that Mystique could transform into people that they killed. But no, that's not it.
It's
So
just,
wait,
anybody.
Literally anybody.
Yeah, when I saw that they transformed into his wife,
wife.
I was like, oh my god, did they kill the wife? But no, they didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't see this coming. So
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if I said this already, but this is an anime where I feel like people can just drop whenever.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly.
Correct?
Yeah, Lush shows up, and I was wondering how she got in there so easily. Anybody else wonder that? I'm like, how did she get around? Yeah. But were you wondering that ever? Because she just randomly is everywhere that you're like, how are you getting around places so easily?
She had
Very sneaky.
She doesn't transform
So there's
at all,
that.
does she?
No. That's it. That's the only thing that she can do is those
Like the nail dagger things? Yeah.
kind of like X2 kind of.
Yeah.
She
Not
is
X2.
very
Who am I thinking of?
Lady Deathstrike.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's very sly.
Very.
She's very sneaky.
Yes. But this scene, cuts of scenes were, I think, a real testament to how amazing this show is, because it goes from Hughes getting attacked by Lust, cutting to the humor with Ed and Al, and then cut back to funeral, and then back again. And I'm like, stop toying with my emotions!
That's what
Because
they
it was
do
like,
here.
you know?
When they say that you're going to go through a roller coaster of emotions, they mean like pretty much these big episodes like this. Because they're like, okay, we've kind of I've wrecked your heart. Here's something light just to ease. And then
But then they do it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
You're just like,
awful.
don't do that to
I was
me.
rooting for him to get, because he got
Right?
away from lust,
Yes.
but then so I was like, okay, he's still okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna get out of this,
Yep.
and then we got him.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Oh, it's so and it's crazy because in this series they do it episode 10, so it's very quick. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, and we lost Hughes. That sucks. But in the original, they wait till episode 25, so you've
Wow.
spent time
More time with him. That's what I
so
thought.
it
I'm like,
hits
I
you
felt like
even harder because you get to see his daughter more and his
Yeah.
wife too. Like, there's a lot more things that are in play. So
it's still sad.
oh, it's no,
Because he's so happy and so nice, and you're
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
But luckily, he got a semi message across.
Yes.
And that's when Mustang's investigating, and that the military is in danger.
Just real quick,
Yeah.
I gotta say, just a shout out to the person in chat, Derek Hogan.
Derek Hogan?
Who shares the same sentiments I do, where he says Hughes' death was more impactful in the 2003 series because we knew him longer in that series.
Yes.
And I felt the same way. When I saw Brotherhood and that happened, it was kind of more like, oh, okay. But like,
Yeah.
I had more of my moment with Hughes when I first saw the 2003 series.
Yeah.
Well, because
That's
it was
when I
more
really-
sudden for us
Yeah.
watching it, because we were watching it in 2003 thinking, oh, we're episode 25, everything's like, it was just, it was
yeah.
crazy. So for us, it was kind of like, oh, we know it's going to happen now because we've already seen it.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that. Like, it didn't feel as impactful because throughout the original, you see him pop up and he'll be like, look at my daughter, she's
Yeah.
getting so big. So like, there was so many happy moments with him just randomly sprinkled throughout the series. And then you
Yep.
got episode 25 and you're like, well, crap.
Yeah,
Yep.
they like legit murder like the
No.
only ray of sunshine on
Straight
this
up.
show. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the happiest, like,
It
sweetest
was
one. and-
awful too
Yeah.
how it planned out, because it was like, oh, he's having a really happy day and he said goodbye to his wife and his kid and everything like that earlier that
when
morning.
he's like, yeah, I'm going to get
Yeah.
home early.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He's like, I'm gonna get home early and I can't wait to see you guys. And then
Yeah.
he figures out the stuff, realizes
Yep.
that what's her face? I can't remember her name. She's the one with the mole.
Ross.
Yeah, that it wasn't her because of
Yep.
that. And she goes, oh, silly me, and does it. And I was just like, oh my god, he's gonna die. And then it just,
Yeah.
I thought she was like a
Worst.
double agent at first, but then
Me too. That was
Envy.
they do such a great job where you go, what?
yeah.
And thank you, Tony, for reading our chat too.
I appreciate it.
We ended the episode. We get the moment too where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Armstrong is holding back information from Mustang, and Mustang goes, well, that means it must be even higher up the food chain that Armstrong is not telling me stuff. Alexis is like, I'm not
I
gonna
can't wait for
tell."
you guys to figure out what's happening with the
Yes.
military. There's so much.
But
Anthony
did you
knows.
notice that sketch where Mustang is like, tell me this, and Armstrong's like, I can't tell you anything. Like at the end of the funeral, they're up on the the hillside,
yeah.
and he's like, I can't tell you anything. But he kind of hints at stuff, which was nice, because he's kind of like, yeah, the thing those brothers are researching.
I was a little confused. So are they gonna go after Ed and Al or no? I was just a little confused by that.
He's
exchange.
holding back information. I
Okay.
don't remember what it is, but it clearly in the scene, it's
in
just
order
one of those like,
to protect them, or
no,
It's kind of
there's
up in the air.
okay.
yeah.
We don't
It's a
really know for
complicated
sure.
web, I would
Okay.
say at
Yeah.
this point. It's everything's
It
very
kind of leaves us
complicated.
guessing. Is
Yeah.
kind of what they're trying to do.
That's
Which
what
you're
I'm-
exactly
yeah, I'm
what
like,
you're doing.
Is it for
Yeah.
this? Is it for that?
But that's what's great. He's like, ooh.
Doing
Yeah.
a good job at it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's the end of episode 10. So we move into episode 11, which is Miracle at Rush Valley, which
Valley.
ahead of time I kind of was like, is this when we have the other Elric brothers? I'm like, nope, not yet.
No, we don't get them at all. I don't
It's
think.
so funny of like, at
No,
all, ever.
Yeah, I don't think we get the other Elrics in Brotherhood. I could be wrong though.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's
But-
funny when you like remember like moments.
Yeah.
So there we go. This will be a pondering for you of which show, and then Tony. Yeah. So you can think about this, but I'll ask you now and fans below. So if you've seen both series, which would you recommend people to watch first, and how much of a gap in between?
Ooh.
Think about that. You don't need to answer now, but you know if you guys are watching, comment down below.
Okay.
Which Full Metal Alchemist show would you watch first, and then how much of a gap would you do in between? And then all you can think about is what you've already seen of this
Oh,
show.
okay.
Would you watch an alternate version that essentially adjusts it?
Yeah.
You can think about it. You don't need to answer.
Well, I'm
right now.
definitely watching the Brotherhood before
Yeah.
the original.
Yes, as you
so-
should. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
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 I'll
for
do
sure.
this
I
one.
would be so confused.
But I guess the question would be for you: would you continue on and then watch the other one
Oh,
later?
yeah, I would definitely continue on and then watch the other one. Just because I'm too invested in this particular, I don't want to say, I guess iteration.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, cool.
I've thought
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've also thought
Please.
about mine.
I
Go for
would
it.
say watch the original because I like how it fleshes out some of
Yes.
the parts.
Yes.
And then watch Brotherhood because Brotherhood feels more of an abridged like a version of the original.
Yeah.
But on top of it covers almost everything from the original. It adds so much more that it's like bonkers to even think about like how could they make this show better.
Yeah.
And then they do with Brotherhood. And
Yeah.
it's just
Right.
like wow, okay. And then you still get that more emotional background that the original like delves into a bit more.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to have as well.
I see it as you should watch the original first. It's more like an appetizer, and then this is your main course, the Brotherhood thing, where it's kind of like the original sets you up, and it's kind of nice, and you're kind of just enjoying like a salad or some sort of appetizer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to like think of like
This is the lean cut meat.
yeah, like this is just kind
Right
of like
to
your
it.
first course
Yeah.
of like dealing with, you know, just like, oh, this is very light and fluffy. I'm just kind of enjoying this for right now. And you can still go through the emotional turmoil, but also enjoy the filler
Yeah.
a lot. And then with this one, whether I would say probably if you watch the entire original like within a day or two, which would be crazy, but you can do it. I've done it. I would say probably take anywhere between 24 hours to 48 hours to watch the next one. One, because
Would
it's
you
still
feel
fresh.
it be that repetitive though?
No, because I feel like it's
Ah.
still refreshed in your brain that you understand what's happening, but it's also nice because it's like a summarized version of it. So you're just speeding through because you're like, oh,
Sure.
that already happened. Oh, but I like what they did here, you
Yeah.
know, and things like that. Also, you get to enjoy the animation a little bit and just the different acting too, because you can compare and contrast. If you want to take like a week, I think that's also fine. But I feel like you'll sit there and kind of go, wait, now I don't remember what happened in the original. Now I have to go back and rewatch it. So I feel like you can go through the entire thing within a week, like if you watched it day after day, and it wouldn't be as tiring because it's so different, especially with the new stuff that we'll get into if, you know, in part 2 and part 3.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of stuff that definitely doesn't happen in the original that you're like,
Ah.
oh, this is a whole new story. I'm down.
Yeah, hearing all this, and then from my experience, I would definitely go with Fullmetal Alchemist first.
Yeah.
And then Brotherhood because it does streamline it and
Yeah.
change things. So the other one provides like a good fuller base, and then here's the like focused portions of it. I mean, myself, it was years later.
Oh, yeah,
Which
same.
isn't bad. But it definitely is more like it's in the vague, foggy. But then I kind of remember things like the scene where we met the other people in the suits of armor. I'm like, I kind of remember this, but it was nice that it wasn't so fresh because then it was still new in
Yeah.
terms of like, I know exactly what's going to happen. But-
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's nice to sit there because for me, I'm like sitting there and I'm like comparing scenes as I'm watching it
Yeah.
because I saw it recently, and I'm like, okay, wait, now I pause, now I have to think about it.
Whereas
I'm gonna look it up.
Whereas
So,
I'm
like-
doing everything like the complete opposite.
But I like
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
I want to see how you feel. One, when you see the
Yeah.
animation is much, it's like Ed's face is so much bigger and his eyes are so wide that he
And
looks like
in
a child.
Brotherhood or the other?
In the original, because it makes
Ah.
him look like his age. Here he
Sure.
looks like kind of like an
Yeah.
adult. And
He
so-
looks like a teenager.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
he looks like a teenager for sure, or not like a teenager, but like a preteen.
Yeah.
In that one, like when he's like having moments where it just seems like he's just being himself. It's very soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here it's kind of like when he gets mad, you can tell.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I also like it because the opposite. Al is very much his age in this one. That one not so much. He's just kind of like they kind of keep to his armor the entire time. Here we get to be more cutesy with him, which I like because that fits his personality. So I like that you're doing it the opposite way.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope
I think-
you
yeah.
all enjoy. Sorry if you would.
Oh no, just like for newer fans such as myself, I think it'd be because I'm always interested in the original and whatever
Yeah.
Alexis says. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that happens.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I'm getting like the main course, the main points, and then like later, if I really like the series, I get to go back to the original 2003 and see like the expansion of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And what it was.
Yeah.
It's like extra like DLC for you.
Yeah.
Downloadable
Yeah.
content.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown of our thoughts on like each one versus each other. Definitely love both. They're just different. And yeah. Episode 11. So Winry is in heaven.
Oh,
Pretty much.
I love her
I love
little,
her, like,
the little
little
wiggle,
wiggle, yeah.
that she does.
That's
Yeah,
me.
here we go.
That's me when I go to like a convention. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, look at all the art and everybody's
Yes.
cosplays. Oh my god.
So then their watch, Ed's watch gets
Yeah.
stolen by Panina. How did they
that
say it in
Elric
English?
brother. Yeah, Panina.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know sometimes when they pronounce it maybe a hair differently,
Mm-hmm.
so I was curious. I love how they track her down and how cool she is as automail
Yes,
fighter.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's-
okay, those pants make sense now.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's crazy because in the original, she actually loses her arm too. So both her legs
Oh.
and her arm. So she has an automail
Oh.
arm and both of her legs.
I kind of like the surprise of
Yeah,
you
me
don't
too.
know it's coming and then it's through the pants.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love her automail period, but this one her reveal is much better in this one than it was over there because she was already, I think she was arm wrestling somebody.
Oh, okay.
And so you saw that she had automail, but the thing is, the surprise was you find out, her legs are also automail later. So it was very interesting because you couldn't see because of those
You
crazy...
still get surprised that she has.
Yeah, but
automail legs.
I like this one better because she's more like fangirling about their alchemy. And the other one, she's more snarky and sassy. Like she doesn't really give a crap that like I took your watch.
Oh no,
and
I
stuff.
love this. She's adorable. She's like,
she's more.
Wow, you're so cool,
like,
and like, but she totally is oblivious in terms of like, oh, you're fighting me.
She's so adorable but badass at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I like this version of her. But in the other one, she seems more like, I've been hardened by society, blah blah blah, which is not a bad thing. I like that about her, but I like that she's much easygoing. With this one.
I love that Winry was the one to catch her in the end.
Oh, she catches her in the original.
Grabs a wrist
because you would expect Ed or Al to catch her, and like they totally fail. But then Winry's like, you're just like, it's gonna be so hard for you to catch me, and then Winry just grabs her arm
and then she's like, can I look at your automail, please?
Yeah, but I also like it because the fact it also shows how strong Winry is because she has to deal
like grip
with tools all the time. So she's like, nah, son, I got you.
Then they meet Dominic, who essentially raised Panina, who's pretty fun and cool. When Winry's like, so I want to be your apprentice, and he's like, no. And it's just so like adorable and funny with that. We get you mentioned in the other version, there's the baby thing. Here's when we get the baby.
I was waiting for it. I was like, I'm just going to hint to the story because it's going to come up again.
I was glad it doesn't go too long because it's a little cliche of, I don't know what to do when a baby's coming. You're like...
So when you do watch the original, that episode's gonna be like, oh my god, because it's extremely over the top in the original.
Oh,
but at least they
Hughes'
hurry it
wife instead of this lady.
Oh, so they don't do it then? They pick one.
No,
they don't do
they
both.
pick one. Yeah, they don't do both.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, they did both. You're like, oh.
No. Because I don't think Hughes' wife in Brotherhood is pregnant. So it's just Alicia.
Oh, okay.
And like you get So with this one, it's you. Oh God, what was it?
Oh, though funny thing, random note. I don't know if you guys noticed. They had the weirdest and kind of humorous crotch shot with Winry.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing here? So she's standing in front of the bed, and we can see the pregnant mom like between her legs. And I'm like,
I didn't understand why that
was
was
awkward.
That flew over my head.
Super awkward.
It wasn't great. It was just kind of like, aren't that's a weird camera choice, but sure, I guess that's fine.
And then Winry decides she's gonna stay back and learn to be better because she's like, I can't help you guys unless I get better. And I applaud her like wanting to learn and grow. Also finds out about the watch of, don't forget, October 3rd, 11.
Yeah, which technically in the original she finds out the day that he goes to get his automail fixed the first time.
Okay.
He had his loner stuff and he was playing outside and she's like, I'm gonna break this open and has the same exact reaction. But then she has this moment by herself and, as she's working on it and then pretends like, it didn't happen. So here it's a little bit more comedic, not the actual moment, but like, like right after.
Yeah.
Here it's, in the original, this one was more of it was just the two of them. Like Granny wasn't in the house, Al was outside, so it was very interesting to see them both have these moments, alone kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice.
I really like this episode, and also we saw Winry take charge again. She
Yes.
kind of like led the brigade to give birth. And
She gets better.
She's like, guys, I know what to do. Come on.
I love her, and then the
Because
baby's
her
born.
her parents were doctors.
Exactly. So it really shows that knowledge like that can actually stick, even though she might not remember all of it. It's still, back there.
Yeah, and I also like the message
smart.
of like how cool humans are. I guess humans can be nasty, but also like. I forget, was it Ed who said that like alchemists can't create humans?
Yeah.
Someone said that.
Yeah,
it was Ed.
It's like
And
humans,
so-
we've been trying for years, can't do it.
And humans can still create
Do it naturally.
humans.
Yeah.
So that's a special skill that only humans have. So,
Yeah.
which is very true. So
I love how
mysteries of
Winry was
life.
like, really? You're going to think about alchemy at a time like this? And he's like,
Yeah.
it's not my fault. It comes with the job. It's all I think
That's
about.
all he
I'm
thinks about.
sorry.
Yeah. Then we move on to episode 12. One is all is one. Now we're getting the teacher. So we get the brief little bit of Ed's dad visual because if you guys notice and recall, we never saw the image of his father before this point, really.
Yep. Well, except for
Not really. Well, the photos
opening.
did like
The
the
opening,
weird
the opening.
Yeah, but not within the show.
No.
Opening
no,
credits
no.
don't really count.
Yeah.
So they go to Doubleth and they Izumi Sensei.
I love her.
Oh my goodness. So she's ill, but she's Bam.
She's amazing.
She's one of my favorite characters.
I
for
know.
sure.
Her and Winry are probably my favorites thus far.
Heck yeah.
I was like,
She's so dope.
yes. This is
She's like, I'm gonna beat your butt, but also I'm bleeding everywhere.
Yes, she's like, her husband is adorable
Yo,
too.
their relationship makes me so happy because one,
They're
it breaks
so
that
cute.
stereotype of like, oh, he's this big, ginormous guy, he's never gonna find love, and he's got this wonderful woman who's also very curvy, by the way, but also the fact
Very
that she's,
curvy.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
curvy.
it's like
I was all boobs.
I was like, I don't think she even needs a bra because it just like that tiny shirt just keeps everything together.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh,
with
he also
anime-
cooks too.
Yeah, isn't that great? I love this couple so
Wow.
much. They make me so
They're
happy.
just so cute.
Yeah.
And you
I
get to
cool
see more
together,
of them
too.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that point that he was so big and burly, yet she's kind of wears the pants in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
But also, I love just her saying that she's a housewife, but we kind of disregard housewives. Housewives have so much
There's
strength.
so much to
They do so much to
Yeah.
support their family, and we definitely are seeing that in
Insane.
Izumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah.
other ways.
She's great.
Yeah, because she doesn't because the fact that she doesn't really have a job, she's mostly just at home being
Yeah.
a wife. He runs the butcher shop,
Yep.
so you know.
And then they just take sweet care of each
Oh,
other too.
so cute.
You're just like, yeah, this couple's so cute. Love it. And they have their moment of like they never really had kids, like they have a look, and you're just like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
So we learned that she committed the taboo as well because they had a baby.
Yeah. But the
But
baby
didn't-
was stillborn, right?
I'm gonna go with.
I'm
They don't
assu-
say it
they don't
specifically,
they don't say
but
it
I'm gonna go with
specifically,
that.
But yeah, pretty much she was sick.
Or maybe died right after.
Yeah, because apparently, what did she say? She said it didn't even take a breath in this world. So I'm assuming
Sure.
stillborn.
Yeah.
Stillborn is what I'm assuming. So I don't
But
know.
Ed and Al were like her babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they raised them kind of.
Even
in a way.
though most moms don't leave their children on an island when they're
Yes.
like 10, 9 years
So
old.
that we get a month-long camping trip. And training, which was so funny to watch, and no alchemy allowed.
Oh,
That was so good.
great.
Ugh, poor bunnies.
I know.
Bunnies.
Oh, the bunny!
The bunny when he was like, "Don't kill me."
And he ends up dying
But then the
anyway.
fox.
But that's why you gotta go get the fish. I was glad they went to fish because fish aren't gonna give you those eyes. So it's
Can you
like, come on.
imagine?
Oh, I would have died if they did. If they would.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think you would survive if you got plopped on the line?
Hell no, not as a 10-year-old. I'd be like, and I'm dead because I don't know how to use a knife. I'm still playing with Barbies at this point in time.
But true, they do have a buddy though, so it's not like you would have been alone. Because
Yes.
they'd like figure it out together. But they do go a few days of like, you know.
Definitely
Yeah.
showed the strength and the determination in them at such a young age. They realized, okay, like we have to fight to survive and eat. We have to kill to eat. We have to continue the circle of
Circle of life.
Yes.
You know, the food chain, which like we saw with the bunny. They didn't try
Yeah.
to eat the bunny, and then the fox came. So
Ate it anyways, yep.
Yeah, it's just, Mufasa's speech definitely
Yeah.
comes into play there.
Exactly.
I can't remember because I was cooking while I was
Yeah.
listening to this episode because I've seen it so many times, but I can't remember. Did Izumi send anybody to watch them and the island? It was just the two of them, right?
yeah.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because in the original, they send a person who kind of scares them. Not like scares them as in like he's coming out and going boo, but it looks like they're trying to kill the boys. But the
Well,
boys
that's so
don't know that.
traumatic.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's just the dad or not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dad. You know the guy who was like, I think it was in episode 13 or 12 where he's like, oh yeah, I saw a young blonde kid walk into this bar. He gives him the matchbox. I think it's in episode 13. He's like, he has a bandana, he's got brown hair. It was like a
don't
split
recall, but
second.
yeah.
But yeah, so he's this big muscly guy because in the original he's like a friend of Izumi's and the
So
husband.
he's going to go check on them, but it
Yeah,
looks
but
bad to us.
well, no, he's actually like in full gear, like trying to kill the kids, but he's
As
not
training?
actually as training.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so but he's
No,
also
I
keeping
liked-
track of that.
I do like though that this was them by themselves.
Yeah,
like, all
because it's good
alone
for
and
them.
everything.
Yeah, to bond. Yeah.
We do learn that their dad is still alive, essentially, and there's more to him, which was like, oop, because I was wondering. I was like, just a hint.
And then also, I love
Yeah.
the end of this episode where Azumi just says it's okay to hurt, which is something that I think we all, just as humans, as people, just need to remember to learn. You know, like or
Yeah.
just to learn from the hurt. And it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel those feelings that you have, and don't mask them. You know. So I thought that was such an important message, and this was definitely one of my favorite episodes by far. I think, if not my favorite episode in part 1.
Is this
sure.
also where they get I was gonna say expelled?
Yes.
Yep. So she's like, you guys committed the taboo. You're
Get
expelled. However, that's kind of better because now you are equals. I like that moment, which is like, I think that's kind of at the beginning of 13.
Yeah.
So that leads us into 13, called Beasts of Doubleth. Also, did anybody notice there's new images on the opening on this episode?
Yep.
So
I usually wait in the opening. I usually skip the opening.
I know. When shows do that to
'cause
me,
you just kind of move on.
It'll say like on Netflix. It'll say like, oh, skip the opening. I'm
Yeah.
like, bam. I'm like,
though
give me,
I
give
don't
me
think
to the
this show does that much.
No.
No, not my Netflix isn't. My Netflix.
Oh.
Because I think because they have the scene and then the credits, and so they don't play it regularly. So that's kind of a question for all of you too. When you are watching this show or any anime, do you like it when they change up the visuals on the intro and closing songs, or also when they change the song? Like this one, they didn't change the song; they just changed visuals.
Yeah.
I was recently watching Vampire Night, and that one, as like the show went on, they changed the visuals, and that revealed things about characters. And I was like, oh, I like this, because I just started noticing they were changing. I'm like, okay, never mind, I'm going to watch it and pay attention. Like it revealed who people were and stuff like that. So please comment down below your thoughts on that. So back to episode 13, they go back to Sensei, and they're like, we didn't really get to talk to you about this. And I said, get memory back. Is this Al? We're trying to get his memory back?
Yeah, because the fact that he lost...
Because he didn't get to see the truth stuff.
Well, they think that he did, he just doesn't remember.
Right,
Because remember, if you see the truth, it's because you gave something equivalent exchange. So she lost her
Al
innards.
lost like everything.
Exactly. So he must have seen the equivalent of the fact that he lost his entire body. The equal to that must be much bigger than the truth that Ed or Izumi has seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so sorry. I have the scar, the people trying to capture him. So this is when he leaves. That's in episode 13. We were talking about it earlier, so never mind. But we just kind of, but that's later, but it's still the same moment.
Yeah.
It just happens in this part, but it's still the, I just realized we were talking about the scar thing, earlier on episode 9, but it doesn't happen till 13. But I still feel those moments in time are close, even though they play on different episodes.
Yes.
So sorry about that. So correction, this is when Scar leaves and the capturing attempt
I thought
happens.
you were just squeezing all of Scar's.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I did. Yeah, he's not in it much, and that just... a little bit. But this is a really interesting bit, which I enjoyed because I do not remember this. And is this in the original where we get to meet Greed, the Chimeras, and learn about Homunculus?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't remember that bit at all. That was cool.
I don't remember what episode number it was because
I like Greed. He was fun.
I don't want to reveal too much because I know you're going to watch it later, but like... He's not as interesting in the original as he is here because you get to have Greed longer. This, which is nice.
Did you like Greed? What did you think of him?
I forget. Was he a chimera as well or no?
No. He's a homunculus. He's the one that can change his skin into
the armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
yeah.
gets his head bashed.
He has. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was funny. He's like, well, I'm not going to die, so here, let me show you. Bash the head, and then it grows right back.
Yeah. I love the animation in that, and all like the muscles forming back together.
That
was really cool.
It looks much better in this one.
His like armor thing, I was like, this is very Black Panther.
Yeah. So anytime you see that a Borealis tattoo, like the one that Les has on her chest, and that he has, they're homunculi.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So your 7 deadly sins thing that you're saying.
Yeah. Gotcha. So the homunculi are the 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Which we learned that they're an artificially created human.
Or
person. So artificially created person.
Yeah.
So
all homunculus have been artificial. They're not born like a human. They have been made by humans.
With alchemy.
And that's funny because in the last episode I just said that humans, like alchemists can't make humans.
Yeah.
Until.
Yeah, but these aren't exactly humans.
These are the only ones that have.
They're very
but
special.
Like, who's making them?
They're also
who's
very
making
evil.
them? How are they being made? All those things we don't really know
What
yet.
is being used to make them?
People, I think.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know.
We also get it more specifically pointed out, the Aurora Boreas tattoo, the snake eating its tail. And then they're getting Ed and Al has been captured. Ed goes to help him out, and Sensei shows up and helps. Yes!
I
was like,
I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see the rest of that in part 2.
I lived for when she came back, and she's like, "I'm a or he's like, Greed's like,
Who are you?
Who are you? What are you? I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
died. And the episode ended, and I'm like, I need to watch part 2.
Yeah.
I need to see her whoop his butt.
Oh, it gets so good. It's
All right.
so cool to see.
Well, speaking of that, so that wraps up part 1 on Netflix. Now go to our Twitter. It's going to be ABTV Anime. We're going to post a poll. Would you like us to continue covering Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or move on to another show? Now, we're not going to be done with this show. We probably would go cover something else and then come back to it. So let us know. We'll post that right up after this show's done. If you're watching this later, just go to ABTV Anime and answer that poll. All right, so that wraps up part 1 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And we'll do some, before we get into news, quick thoughts, Ollie. What'd you think?
Yeah,
I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. I think it's a very easy anime to get into.
Yes.
Like me coming in, not knowing anything about the original. Like I was like, okay. I didn't think I was like it as much.
Yeah.
And so I can see why it is so popular. And I'm like I said, I'm ready for part 2. Even if we don't cover it right away, like I really do want to watch it like on my free time.
You're like,
Part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
Yeah, this is definitely a dense, big show. So we probably won't be covering this all in one thing.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know. But we probably would cover something else and then come back if that's how things go.
I don't think Netflix is ever going to take the show off of their viewing list. And also Hulu has it, Crunchyroll has it. There's so many places to watch it. I have all the DVDs if you want. Like, I got you.
I was going to say also a huge welcome to so many of you who found us now who are also starting this show.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were there to provide a breakdown of at least part 1 for now, and then we'll stay tuned for later. Yeah. Any other thoughts on part 1 before we get into news?
No, I'm just really excited for you guys to continue, and I definitely can't wait for you when you get to it eventually, when you watch the original, and be able to compare and contrast because there's a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So let's get into some quick anime news. Woo-hoo! All right.
TV News.
Okay, so Sentai Filmworks announced their newest acquisition, Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions Take on Me. It's going to be a movie. The show is on Crunchyroll right now. So it premiered in Japan on January 6th. So stay tuned for when that will be released here in the States. But it's great that they acquired that because if you guys watch the show, there's a movie, there's a second picture. There we go. I like the animation. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with this one, but I'm like, this looks fun. I'd check it out.
Yeah. I'm down.
Flying schoolgirls?
Yeah.
I'm down.
I was about to say,
That's my fantasy.
They're like Mary popping it.
Well, yeah, the thing is, it says from the fan favorite studio Kyoto Animation, they did Clannad and K-On! This theatrical.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a theatrical release.
Yep.
So if you guys are
Yep.
fans of those shows,
Yep.
same animation people.
Take my viewership.
Yes, so this follows Chunibyo couple Rika and Yuta in their 3rd year of high school. So stay tuned for that. All right, next up, I was like, whew. All right, High Dive announced it acquired streaming rights to Aurora Battler Dunbine, legendary sci-fi epic, restored and remastered in HD with English dubbed and subbed episodes added every Monday, and it's going to start on April 23rd. So that's coming up. I like the kind of retro vibe of this, and yay for remastering, so that's great.
I was about to say, do we know how old this series
Yeah,
is?
because it's giving me Gundam
I do
vibes.
not have those, but you know what? Speaking of that, it's based on the novel Wings of the Rain by Yoshiyuki Tomino, the acclaimed writer and director of the popular Mobile Suit Gundam series.
Yep, that makes a lot more sense now.
So this story weaves a detailed fantasy backdrop with powerful mechas and complex characters to create a timeless story. So check out more for that.
Love it.
Viz Media announced the second release in Flame Toys limited edition Transformer series, introduces the eloquent Decepticon from the hit IDW comic series.
Cool.
Tarn is highly articulated and features a detachable face mask. The figure is accessorized with 2 Buster guns and that can be combined, as well as 3 LEDs that add light up accents. It's posable. Let me see any notes. It stands 8.3 inches tall and represents a pinnacle, a collector's piece destined to delight any ardent Transformers fan.
Oh, geez. Cool. What's the damage? Like the
MSRP is $400.
That's a car payment.
So, you
golly.
collectors, I have a good friend who worked for Good Smile Company a long time. Start putting your money aside. This isn't by Good Smile, but the idea of, start saving your money now.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Quick, going back to our
Battler.
Outer Battler Junbin. So it's actually originally released in 1983.
Wow.
All right, I'm
That
getting that
explains a
vibe,
lot.
yeah.
It finished its run in 1984. So
Dang,
yeah,
son.
definite remaster.
Sweet.
Oh, so excited.
So then the last little bit is Bluefin is the one who was talking about the Transformers. So Bluefin is the official North American master distributor for Flame Toys. I think I might not have given you this photo, so sorry, Tony. Do you have one more? Nope, that looks like it's. But I'll just let you all know, Pokemon, there's going to be a new Pokemon. Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to come out on May 8th. It's a new series publishing that's going to be coming out. It's rated A for all ages and released exclusively in print. MSRP of $4.99, so not bad at all. Series features the work of artist Satoshi Yamamoto and writer Hidenori Kusaka, and future volumes of Pokemon Sun and Moon will be published by Viz Media every 4 months.
Awesome.
So yeah. We have a couple other anime here on the desk, so we'll be talking more about those. We'll be passing on. Everybody's get to read and talk about it. So that's the other reason. Also check out the ABTV Anime Twitter account, because if we don't get to talk about manga on this show, we do write about it on the Twitter. All right, so our fun word of the day I thought was kind of cute. And it applies to both of our boys. Nakimushi. It means crybaby. Because they can get over dramatic. And that's why we love them. So, so we'll break it down. So it's Nakimushi.
Nakimushi.
Yay! So I hope you all enjoyed that. So make sure to tune in next week. We'll be covering another exciting anime. And again, go to the Twitter, ABTV Anime. We'll have a poll up in minutes as soon as we're done here. So do we continue on with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, or pause, cover another anime, and then come back? It'll be a short one. We won't cover like a 25 something. We'll do like another like 12. Nice little one. And then we'll be looking to you all for suggestions of what shows to cover next. So please also leave comments down below of what anime shows you want us to cover. Please make it be something that's already kind of like a chunk out. Simulcast is a little hard because we're not doing really one at a time. We're doing like 4 to 5 at a time.
We already have some suggestions in the live chat.
Oh, yay. What are some of the suggestions, real quick?
Some coming from Derek Hogan, real quick. One Punch Man.
Okay.
Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yep.
Which I've seen both of. Also Hellsing Ultimate, which I haven't seen. I would love to.
Okay.
Oh, I heard that one's really good.
And also Elfen Lied.
Oh, yeah.
I
Throwback.
haven't seen that one either, and I would love to. I know it's renowned like horror.
Sweet. Okay,
I might
actually,
have
you
to
know what?
skip
You
on
made
that
me
one.
think of it. Another thing we should do a poll of is what kind of genres we want covered, because
very
we've
good.
covered a couple already, but some of the same-ish vibe. I want to cover some cutesy because seriously, shoujo is my jam. But we haven't really covered that yet, so we'll put that as a poll as well. I think you can have more than one poll at a time, right?
I think so.
I think so. So check out the Twitter. Anyway,
make several
thank you.
tweets.
Yes, thank you so much for watching, joining in the live chat. It's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed our coverage of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood Part 1. Where can they all find you guys online?
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer, and check me out on Sundays for the Drag Race After Show on AfterBuzz TV.
And I'm Alexis Torres. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890. That's ATORRES890. Also, if you love Lethal Weapon, we're doing a show literally in 2 hours, so definitely come hang out with us at 8 p.m. Archer starts next Sunday, and then we've got Timeless with Kari Lane. We won't be there
And
this
we're going to
week.
have guests.
Yeah, Kari Lane will be there. I will not be there this week, but definitely next week. Just tune in, though, because if you need to catch up, Timeless is a great show to
It's a
catch up
fun
on.
show.
Yeah.
Tony, where can they find you?
Oh, I didn't create a lower third for myself.
Oh, it's okay. You can say it.
Yeah,
Say it out loud.
you can find me everywhere at TonyBTony_. Again, it's Tony TONY B Tony _. And don't forget, if you're any horror fans out there, we just recorded a great interview with Hayden Sito from Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
That's on the Popcorn Talk Network at Horror Movie News on Popcorn Talk Network, where you can find Carrie, Oliver, and myself on there. So check that out. Thank you for the plug. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this was great. Sorry I threw it at you. And my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. I cover a bunch of shows here that probably take too long to list, but some of the new ones that are coming up. Westworld's coming up soon. Handmaid's Tale is coming up soon. Legion just started.
So many
oh my
good
goodness,
ones.
so many good shows. And Expanse just started as well. Also, check out my Twitter account and Instagram. I just covered the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles. Have some posts of that and coming up soon. And I need to check their schedule. I don't know if they have any anime stuff related yet, but Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival is coming up at the beginning of May. So if you're Los Angeles based, it's a wonderful festival to come out to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We love having you here, and we'll see you next week. All right, sayonara.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.